Welcome back, everybody. I'm here with Joseph Blackman, who has become a decently good friend, I would say, not just an acquaintance. We get along quite well.
It's getting serious. Yeah.
we met on LinkedIn months ago when I announced that I was going to do a YouTube channel. I announced that, and you messaged me probably 5 minutes later and said, "This is a great idea. Let's get together." And you host the Public Works podcast.
Yep.
And if you've not heard of it, I'll put it in the links below in the description. And the other thing I'm going to put in the links below is my episode on the Public Works podcast, where he came to my plant and interviewed me in person. I tell my story. We were going to both upload this video in different intervals, and I actually have never told you this. I decided not to because YouTube has a lot of strict rules about duplicates, and I didn't want it to be flagged for spam, and so I actually just never communicated that to you. So what I'm going to do is just link to it, and I want you guys to please subscribe to his channel, because there are boots on the ground, normal people like me, like Joseph, collections, engineers, operators, lots of operators on there.
I need more.
And if you're an operator and you want to be on his podcast, he will interview you. But they tell their stories, and they kind of tell how they got in. He's got a really boilerplate, great interview list. So anyway, I wanted to have a moment. He's not an operator, but I wanted to have a time to talk to Joseph and give him a platform on my channel to kind of talk about what he does. And so, Joseph, thank you for being here. Can you kind of tell people how you got into our space, the public works space, and why you started the podcast?
Sure. So imagine this, like, long story short, I was on the top of Mountain Kilimanjaro in Tanzania, Africa.
Dang. Good for you.
And it was one of those moments in my life where I'm like, I need to go deeper. And deeper meaning I got tired of going from job to job to job to job. And my mentor said, you know, you've done sales jobs well, you can make good money doing sales, but get a sales job where you can sell a higher ticket product to a more career-focused industry, meaning a long-term play, because the average deal in this industry is sometimes 12 to 18 months. So it's a longer play. Like, you're meeting people, 2 years of friendship, and then they maybe might buy from you. And so when I found this industry, I started off selling Vector trucks, and that was kind of that high-ticket item with the long sales cycle, more of that career, long-term focused personnel in it. But one thing I noticed was that everybody who knew everything in the industry was leaving. They were literally retiring and gone. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm selling the city a $500,000 truck. I train them on everything, but there's two guys in the back that they're gone in the next year and a half. And they're gonna take all their gift, skills, and talents with them out of the door. So there's gotta be a better way. So I started shooting myself on video of, like, training them on how to operate the trucks, or how to do this, or the pre-trip checks, or how to operate the water pump. And I would text those videos to the supervisors. And the supervisor said, "Hey, this is great. We like these videos. We need more. Answer this question, answer that question." And so I got to the point where I said, you know, that entrepreneurial light went up and said, okay, there's a there. And so I started a whole service around that. I call it Vitendo training. So Vitendo is Swahili, which is, you know, is what they speak in Tanzania.
Oh, got it.
And it means repeated learning or teaching.
Nice.
And so, like, that was kind of the connection there. And so I go from agency to agency, city to city, town to town, utility to utility, and put their best practices, their SOPs, their institutionalized knowledge on video, and I deliver it to them so they can train the new guy on that. Because let's be honest, a lot of people that we need to get in the industry aren't going to come from the industry. So if we get them to that low level of competency, they're going to have that confidence to show up the next day and say, I can learn my way around this pump. I can learn my way around this pump station. I can learn my way around this plant if they had the content to get in, you know, deeper than just learning from the OG or learning from an actual written manual who nobody reads.
Well, something that really I've kind of hinted at with my GM, and we're in a very busy season right now, so maybe later, but something that you do that really would benefit me, and I've told you before we started filming this that I've been on the phone with my coverage operators every single day, and they actually not interrupted, but in a way interrupted my class yesterday. During a break, I had to walk them through a chemical dosing formula, and we I would rather, what your idea was to put QR codes on things and have me in a video say, this is what you do. And so I'm on vacation. Almost every vacation I've taken since I've become a chief plant operator, every vacation I've taken since being CPO, I've gotten a phone call. And so it's like it would be nice to, and it's really cool what you're doing there.
I feel like I coined the term just-in-time training. Like, we don't need to know everything before we do it. Like, your garage door will go out in the next 5 years. You know what I'm saying? But you don't need to learn how to fix your garage door right now. But when your garage door goes out, you should be able to take your phone out, scan a QR code that's on that garage door, or on the motor and answer the question. It's making this crazy noise, or it's not working right, or it's going too slow. You should be able to find what video you want off that QR code to be able to solve your problem.
It's really
It's
cool.
the same thing for your plant.
Yeah.
There should be a QR code next to that, to that mixing station. They should be able to scan it, and it should be Sean's pretty face on there going, here's how you get the formula, right? Here's the formula, here's how you work through it.
Right.
And now they can learn that on the spot, just in time,
Yeah.
instead of having to know it for 5 years ago.
That's a great idea. And I've seen some manufacturers rolling out that with pumps. They call it tags on a pump.
Yep.
And I can QR, and instead of having to go up to the control room,
Yeah.
pull out the Bible, it's this big, and you're flipping through this manual. You can pull it up on your smartphone and start, or your tablet, start scrolling to the page, or search for the page you want, and you're there, and you got an exploded diagram of a pump, and you're able to work. So that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Why the Public Works podcast? Where did that idea come from?
It was kind of a part of, like, selfishly, when I got in the industry, I didn't know anything about it, nor did I know anything about the people who I was doing business with. Like, if you're selling to, postpartum moms, geriatric postpartum moms, like, you want to know what they like, you want to know what kind of shows they watch, just so when you're having the conversations, the nomenclature, the verbiage, the tone, the pacing of, like, who they are and what they do, you want to know that. It's the same thing with our industry. Like, there was nothing out there that I could go and listen to, like, and again, in one package place where I could get that problem solved. And so, me being me, I said, well, I'm going to start it. And of course, like, the guys, they laughed at me and said, oh, nobody's going to listen to a podcast about operators and directors. And I said, okay, let's say each episode only gets 5, downloads. That's okay, because I had that conversation with that person.
Right.
I know them, they know me now.
Right.
And not that I'm gonna sell them something, but, like, we actually have that relationship. We can go to a conference like Tri-State, and I'll be like, hey, I had you on the show, you were on my show, now we're friends. We can start that relationship. So that was kind of the reason why. And then again, like, once I started to dive in deeper into the industry, everybody has their own story. Like, not everybody got into the industry the same way. Like, I remember your story. Like, you're on Angel Island. Like, I'm from the Bay Area. I know Angel Island. Like, I know the type of people that go to Angel Island. Like, it's a certain path, and, like, not everybody has the same path. And I always envision a youngster listening to a Sean Powell's episode and going, I might be at a place in life where I'm trying to live at every national park, and I just want a career now, and he can follow your path, and like, he can say, oh, that's my people right there, and he can get into the industry.
Brilliant. It's a brilliant idea.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, and I appreciate the voice you're giving to people that don't have a voice. And we're
people question government because they don't know what's going on behind those 4 walls.
Right.
Like, people hate government because they're like, hey, you keep taking my money, but we don't know who you are or what you're doing with it. This is allowing people to go, okay, that operator, he's going to be at the same parent-teacher conference as me, and me and my child. That operator is going to be at the same Shake Shack as me and my family when I'm there. That operator, he makes sure the water gets to my house and it's clean and it's pure and it's good to drink, and I don't need a filter for it. Now they know, okay, instead of calling the phone number to complain, they can go, okay, well, I know Johnny's the same guy that I'm going to see at the parent-teacher conference. Let me give him a break. Or let me slow in the cone zone, because that is somebody's father also.
Right. Well, and there's more to the story. Once you have a face to the name, there's more to the story than those people. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so we got to wrap this up because we both have other things we're getting to. So you're in a time machine. You can go back in time to young Joseph. What advice would you give young Joseph about breaking into the industry? Any words of wisdom that you can just conjure up? You've got 10 seconds to tell him something.
I kind of like what you're saying on the other show is start now. Those imposter syndrome type voices in your head saying you're not good enough, you're not qualified, you're not the right person to do this, just shut them up, shut them out. The motivation, the inspiration will come after you start. Don't wait for it to be there before you start. So just start doing it. Start creating content, start talking to people, start having those conversations that are cringe, just because once you get past those, the sky is the limit, and that's where we're here today.
Absolutely. Well, and I read a book once. It was like one of those, self-help things. I like that. I like that stuff.
You need that stuff.
It just changes the way you think. Sure. It's not like I'm not like talking to myself in the mirror or anything. But
you doing cold plunges here?
No. Yes. I am. Not with ice, but at the beach. I'll go and run in at Avila Beach. It's pretty cold. And I'll run in and jump in during my lunch break sometime. It's just great because I'm a crazy person.
Pure water because you're
Sure, yeah. Well, and that's effluent. I'm swimming in the effluent. No, the ready, fire, aim was a concept, and it's like when you're putting the sights in on your iron sights or your scope, you're never perfect. You have to shoot it a few times to kind of dial it in. And when I was starting 100%. The YouTube channel, I remember joking with a couple friends and my boss, and I said, if this bombs, if like I go in there, and I had a lot of imposter syndrome, like I am
Dude,
not
we're
ready
our
to
own
do
worst
this.
enemies, man.
Yeah, I am. There's no way I'm qualified to do this YouTube channel, but I'm gonna try because I feel like it's needed. And if I went down in flames and I got all the thumbs downs and everybody gets on there and starts arguing with me and
typical internet.
And, the internet actually reared its head at me. I was like, I will fade back into obscurity. I will shut the channel down, and I will just go enjoy the beach. And that did not happen. What actually happened was people go, "Oh my God, thank you," and it's not at all. I figured I didn't know what was going to happen, but what I did know is if I got in the corridor, and I just get in there and start doing things,
you'll find your door.
And you're now doing, Vitindo and all this stuff, but you started as a Vector salesman. I started as a state parks maintenance worker cleaning bathrooms and cutting grass, and I was yanked into the wastewater because they were desperate, and I did show interest. Of course, it wasn't like I was like, drafted and pulled out of my bunk.
We want you.
No, it was just like, hey, if you are interested, yes, we will use the help. And so I just saw an opportunity and jumped on it. I did not imagine 15 years ago, I would be sitting here with you at this conference as a speaker with a YouTube channel. It was just like I would be lucky to break in. So, absolutely great advice. Just start.
Start.
Any parting words before we wrap it up?
No. I mean, check out the podcast, Public Works Podcast. You can find it on LinkedIn or just Google for it.
It'll be in the links below as well.
Vitindo Training Solutions. Again, I solve the problem of getting people into the workforce and getting them that low level of competency. If you've ever been on YouTube to watch a video on how to fix or operate something you own, then you understand the concept. So, reach out. Let's talk. I need more operators on the show. Operators are out operating. That's why it's hard for me to get operators on the show. I can get plenty of engineers and directors, but the operators are hard to track down. So please reach out, and looking forward to meeting everybody.
Right on, Joseph. Thank you so much.
For sure, man. Sure.